We begin tonight with a live look across the region as snow snarls the evening commute. Road closures and crashes popping up everywhere. Even minor fender benders are causing some major backups. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Kelly Jackson has the night off. We are in a weather impact alert. We have reporters all over the bi-state covering the storm. Let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who says we are not finished with the snow tonight.
No, we still have one more band of snow to get through. We're getting a little bit of a break right now in St. Louis proper and just to the west and northwest. But this next band has the potential to dump another 1 to 2 inches of snow. This has not been a major snowstorm for St. Louis. We're talking 1 to 3 inches so far and maybe adding another inch onto that. But the timing of it and the intensity of it today caught a lot of people off guard. And there's still some slick roads out there. So if you can delay travel, you probably should. But it looks a lot better on many of our roads right now than it did earlier today. This is out in St. Charles. We actually have traffic moving on Interstate 70 here as you go back and forth east and west there by Zumbel. So that is good news. Earlier we had big problems there and traffic was just snarled. Here's the radar. South and east of St. Louis, this is where we have a little band, a very small band that's a little heavier. That goes from Collinsville down to Fairview Heights and back towards Cahokia Heights, just east and southeast of the Arch. You can see that sliding off towards east and northeast. What we're watching is this next band that's now evolving here to our north and west. That is what's going to slide in probably between 7 and 8 o'clock in St. Louis. That's why we have our highest snow chances here, 8 to 9 o'clock going into the evening hours. And then by the time we get to midnight, it's winding down. We'll be out of our alert by 1 or 2 o'clock, and we should be able to get those roads in some better shape before tomorrow morning's rush hour. But again, another 1 to perhaps as much as 2 inches of snow can be expected with that next band that rolls through this evening. We're going to keep our eyes on that. Right now, we're going to check on traffic across the area and see what's going on. We've been tracking all day long how slow things have been, and they are still slow. We still have problems going through the Chesterfield Valley, out through and along westbound portions of 64 out into St. Charles County. This area was hit hard and hit fast earlier today. So that's an area we're watching. Also looking off to the east here, we've had some problems and some accidents there. Still a crash there on I-70 out all the way over towards Pocahontas in Illinois. We'll get you back with more weather and road information throughout the evening hours. We'll be on 5+ too. So Mike, lots going on in the weather.
And Scott, our storm tracker is out on the roads right now so we can give you a better idea of how things look out there for drivers. Let's check in with Laura Barczewski. She's eastbound on 44. Laura.
Mike, 44 is not looking too bad right now. We've gone eastbound now and westbound this afternoon, and we're seeing pretty clear lanes at this point. What we are noticing is there's a little bit more ice buildup on the roads as we kind of get some of that freezing chemical that got melted and precipitation that's all kind of mixing together right now. I talked with the St. Louis Streets Department earlier today. They have about 30 trucks out there right now. They were working on getting rock salt and chemicals out on the road. That was their big focus this afternoon while they waited for some accumulation to be able to actually drop their plows this evening. They have the first crew out there. They're going to be out and about until about 8 o'clock. Then in the city around 8 o'clock, another crew is going to go back out on the streets, and they're going to be out all evening making sure that all of the roads are clear as best as they can. They want people to, as everybody's already talked about, try to stay off the roads when you get home from work. Just go ahead and stay home and make sure you're parking off of those snow routes so they can really get in there, clear all sides of the streets, and they will have all of these crews working all night in various capacities, whether that's plowing. They're going to plow when it hits about 3 inches of accumulation so that best protects all of our manholes, speed bumps, bump outs, all of those types of things. But right now 44 looks pretty good. It is a little icy, so make sure you're taking it slow. We're only able to go about 50 miles an hour just because of the conditions right now. So make sure you're taking it slow out there, and I'll toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Tonight, MoDOT leaders admit crews did not pre-treat roads before today's snowstorm. We're told MoDOT wasn't expecting the early arrival of the snow. With that, slick and dicey roadways cause headaches for drivers. Our Justina Cornell joins us live near St. Louis Lambert Airport. Justina.
Well, traffic is moving along, but as you can see, police is going by right now with its lights. We actually just saw one going the opposite direction as well, and people are braking, so we can't really tell. There's some trees in the way, so I can't tell if there's an accident, but again, a reminder to slow down. When we first arrived here a couple of hours ago, it was at a complete standstill, but now traffic is moving along. Also, another observation when we got here, it looked like a white sheet across the road, and now we can actually see the road, so some improvement there. Now, we did see a ton of traffic today ourselves. We were on 270 heading to St. Charles County when we were at a standstill for an hour, barely moving. We decided to hop off at 70, and that's when we saw 2 semi-trucks stuck, causing the traffic delays. Now, responsible for those roadways is MoDOT, who we heard from earlier today. MoDOT officials say the storm came in hours earlier than expected, and that's why they didn't pre-treat the roads. Bob Becker, district maintenance manager, said the plan was to get out this morning, but it was just too late.
You know, treatment means when that snow hits the road, it's going to start to melt. And then when more snow goes on top, you get more of a slush and things like that. We break that bond. We've lost some of that with this storm because of the way it came in. So it's going to stick a little more and going to cause that that layer of snow and ice on the roadway itself.
Because of that, roads are going to be slick. So just a reminder, if you're going to go on the roads, to go slow and drive safe. And MoDOT officials say that there is going to be a shift change at 7 o'clock, and those crews will be working through the night. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Well, today it was bumper to bumper traffic in places in St. Charles County and St. Louis County. But now we're seeing traffic running a whole lot smoother. 5 on your side's Reagan DeTrolio joins us live off of Page Avenue.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Mike. It looks a lot better here. I'm off of Page Avenue, like you just said, in Woodson Road, and the traffic is looking pretty good. I actually want to move out of the way and show you what I'm seeing here on the ground. Traffic is moving at a pretty normal speed, but earlier in the afternoon, it did not look like this. It was at a standstill. I got off the phone with St. Louis County Highway Department leaders earlier, and they're saying that they are stocked with snowplows today. About 115 snowplows are working throughout the county all today. And then over in St. Charles County, the highway department director tells me they have 36 routes and they have at least 1 truck running per route, but they're saying the roads still need work. Many of the routes are at least 90% plowed, but in some of their more urban areas, only 50% is taken care of. Now, I also talked with some people out here who are braving the snow and driving in this tonight.
It's a lot of traffic, you know, it's cold conditions, people panic in certain situations, so you just got to make sure you keep your cool, make sure you get home safe, you know.
And St. Louis County highway leaders say that they actually started pre-treating the roads at 7 this morning, and we haven't seen that at many places across the region, but the county says that they felt prepared for the snow today. They say they even have extra staff coming in tonight to help with the night shift. Reporting live in St. Louis County, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, 5 on your side.
And in the last few hours, we checked in with IDOT. Roads have been slowly improving in the Metro East since the snow started falling this afternoon.
Some highways, though, they're still slow going. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan's live in Madison near Worldwide Technology Raceway with more on what's happening for drivers. Megan.
Yeah, Ann and Mike, right behind me, Illinois Route 203 is looking pretty clear. Just hours ago, I called IDOT and found out they did not pre-treat the roads. They said they had plenty of chemicals left over from the weekend, and with sleet coming in first, that treatment actually worked against them. So currently, they're treating the roads with salt. Joe Monroe from IDOT tells me some stretches have steadily improved, while others are dealing with repeated bursts of snow that quickly cover the pavement again. He told me areas that had a lot of leftover salt and pre-treatment actually saw snow stick faster at the start of the storm, while spots that didn't have as much chemicals stayed clear a little longer before crews could get back in front of it. Monroe says if the snow stops soon, the roads should dry out.
If it goes past midnight, then you're looking at the colder temperatures, and running the risk of it perhaps not drying out because of the amount of chemical we would have put down. And you worry about daybreak, you could have a flash freeze during morning rush, so we would protect against that.
Monroe says their treatment is working and plow crews will stay out as long as the storm is active. Officials are telling drivers not to come out if you can help it. If you do need to go somewhere, stay behind the plow and give them plenty of room to work. Live in Madison, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
You can get the weather impact forecast sent straight to your phone. For a link, text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
Now to a live look at St. Louis Lambert International Airport as we head to break. There have been more than 100 cancellations and delays all day due to this weather.